Raise your hand if you've ever been a bouncer at a New York City strip club. I'm raising both. Back in the early 2000s, I worked as a bouncer at 3 strip clubs in Manhattan. One owner, 3 jiggle joints. Now, as I promote my debut graphic novel based in part on the Epstein files and my own chaotic nightlife experiences, I asked myself, why not drop a dozen or so short videos telling some of these strip club stories? And believe me, there are some diamonds in the rough, especially about Candyman. What a fucking freak. Welcome to episode 2 of Rex Wilson Rants. I am Rex Wilson, graphic novelist, veteran, gym rat, former bouncer, and not a fan of Candyman. This fucking guy. Candyman was a big shot attorney, or so I was told. He never looked at any of the bouncers, never spoke to us, not a word. He'd walk into the club, make a straight line for the general manager, shake his hand, and get escorted straight to the champagne lounge. No small talk, no lap dances, no nonsense. Just a private room and 2 strippers. 2, always 2. And he had a rule. One girl had to be rail thin, and the other one, not so much. Now listen, I didn't work in some ghetto strip club. There were no fat girls where I worked. No chubby ones either. Trust me, those girls would have been out on the curb before the shift even started. But next to a stripper with a visible rib cage, you can find someone with a little more meat on their bones. And that was the unlucky girl. But before I tell you what happened in the champagne lounge, let's talk numbers. Early 2000s, champagne room price, about $400 for 50 minutes. Not an hour, 50 minutes, 50. Now remember, Candyman always had 2 girls, so we're already at about $800 per 50 minutes, and that's before drinks, before tipping the manager, the hostess, the girls, and before buying the ice cream. I'll get to that. Candyman didn't just stay 50 minutes, no. He stayed 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours, 2 or 3 nights a week, sometimes every damn night. Do the math. 3 hours with 2 girls, that's about $2,400 a night in early 2000s money, before tips. And here's the weird part. The girls never touched him. They never danced. They never took their clothes off. So what the hell was going on in the champagne lounge? Hey kids, real quick, if you like what I'm doing and you want to stay up to date on the release of my debut graphic novel, Revenge of the Dirty Detective, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much. Okay, champagne lounge. What the hell did Candyman do in there for so long? Well, first you got to picture the guy. High-rolling attorney, but he dressed like a miserable college professor from 1981. Wrinkled suit, cheap tie, and he always carried this dingy brown leather briefcase that looked like he bought it from a thrift store. And every time he walked into the club, he had a bag from the deli down the street. One of those white bags with the yellow smiley face. Inside that bag, 2 pints of ice cream. Here's what went down. Candyman would make the thin stripper feed the thicker stripper the ice cream, spoonful after spoonful, pint after pint. He'd always have to run back to the deli and buy more. And while this poor girl was being force-fed ice cream, Candyman would start laughing, maniacally, jumping around the room, pointing at her like a lunatic and yelling, "Look, look, you're getting fatter. I can see your belly growing, your thighs, your ass. Cellulite, cellulite, cellulite." All night he would do this, and it gets even weirder. That briefcase, Candyman kept a scale inside it. Yes, you heard me correct, a scale. He'd make the poor girl, who must have felt like a human balloon by then, step onto the scale, and then he'd point at the number and insist she was getting fatter right in front of him in real time. One night a stripper told me why he did it. Candyman once fell hopelessly in love with a woman, his soulmate, the love of his life. But he refused to marry her. Why? She was overweight. And that's my Candyman story, kids. True story, too. Just one in 10,000 tales I plan on sharing in this video series, Rex Wilson Rants. Thank you for listening and God bless. Fight, fight, fight. I am Rex Wilson.